but I am good. Thanks for warming up the crowd for me, Bev. I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
So good news. I mean, we found out early Monday that they announced on Sunday that public open houses were now allowed. So yay! Everyone's been asking. You know, some people have been frustrated, like it's something that KW is doing. It's not. It's governor order. So I posted the article onto both Facebook pages, so you can see that where it actually specifically spelled out that it was lifted. So we want to talk about kind of game plan to do that. So we want to make sure, much like we're doing with the market centers, that we're providing a safe, sanitized environment. So a couple of things we want to make sure are in place. Number one, you have to wear face masks. I'm going to strongly encourage booties, and if you don't have booties, probably make a point to have people remove their shoes. You know, studies do show that the shoe picks up a lot of germs. And in an office setting, I really don't care much about it. But in a house where you can have kids roll around the floor, laying on the floor, we want to make sure either footwear is removed or booties are added. Regarding plastic gloves, to me, if you're having gloves on all day, you're running the same risk as you're going to run if you have just your bare hands. So you need to make sure you have a sanitizer option. You need to make sure you have a hand sanitizer for everyone that enters the house. Sanitize their hands on the way in, and also be prepared with disinfectant spray and paper towels or some type of disinfectant wipe. So to me, the minimum is face mask, sanitizer, disinfectant spray, disinfectant wipe, and either remove your shoes or wear booties, just to make sure we can provide as safe of an environment as possible for the house. Make sense so far? How are we doing?
Good. I think just a quick note on the face masks that you should absolutely have a supply available for those people walking in. Not everybody's going to have a face mask, so make sure that you have them for your open house.
Yep, have some disposable ones. Again, I'm out there, guys. We're all seeing different types of people. As people out there all the time walking around without them. But again, we have an obligation, the seller, to provide a safe and healthy environment. So you'll have some disposable face masks. There's going to be some notices you put on the front door. So face masks required inside. Look at the home like our office. We'd be expecting anyone coming in to have a face mask. Also, with this first round of public open houses, we're really going to want you to bring one group in at a time, or one family in at a time. So Dylan, can you throw up the COVID-19 open house form? Thank you. So what we did, we are going to, I just lost it. We are going to have the expectation that we use the state's COVID-19 flyer. This is the state flyer for COVID-19. What we actually did with it is, so first of all, the seller needs to sign this. Again, this is just the New Jersey Realtors COVID form. The seller needs to sign it just like they would for any other showing. And well, we actually talked about this a little yesterday. We say, we want every buyer coming through to sign it. But then we said, wow, that's going to get really tedious, signing 10, 15, 20. So what Dylan did, thank you, Dylan, we just kind of converted this to an open house registry. So in essence, you could use this to register people for your open house, where they put their name, they sign their email address and their phone number. And that way they're acknowledging the COVID-19 sellers form as well. So close this out. Let's go back to the big screen. So what I would say on the front door, can you, who's the host?
Dylan.
Can you remove your showing, Dylan?
All right, you should be good to go now. Mike froze.
Yeah, still up there.
Dylan's screen froze.
You have a closed tab there, Dylan, then not really a closed screen. So Emily or whoever, see if you can there. We back?
Yeah.
All right. So what I see, the front door having a face mask required inside, one family, one group permitted. One group permitted at a time. I can't use the word family. One group permitted at a time. And please read below. We will ask you to sign this upon entry. So that way, if the buyer's there, then kind of read it before you greet them at the front door. How we doing so far? Thoughts, comments, questions? We'll take a pause here for a second.
Quick question. I do have clients that are looking to have no children in the house. Is that permitted?
I would say during this time, yes. You know, we're not being discriminatory against children. So what I would say is, we're limiting it to, you know, adults only. You know, again, that's kind of where we've been. You know, we're not discriminating against children by any means. We're really looking to just allow 1 or 2 people in the house at all, and really it's for the safety of them as well. I don't know if I would, you know, put that on the form outside. I wouldn't put that up in writing. I would just, you know, if you greet someone at the door, say, you know, unfortunately, we can only allow adults into the open houses. This is the first week we're doing open houses in 3 months, and we're just trying to eliminate, you know, everyone's risk of germs. I see. I saw a post of can you email the form? I believe it was emailed yesterday to both offices. We'll make sure that gets out again. But definitely check your email. It's also in the chat. If you want to go and download it from the chat, you can see it there. Not sure what happened. Am I the only one like seeing only 5 people on video, or is everyone's video off?
I have video off. I'm still in pajamas.
No. But
Yeah,
Beverly,
you got a bunch on there, Michael. You got 20, 30 people with cameras on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Bunch of faces.
For some reason, I'm not seeing it that way. So I'm all good. So again, we want to do open houses, but we want to create a clean, safe environment. So, you know, face mask, hand sanitizer, booty, the sign on the front that includes this. We can send out. We've got a face mask required sign that we hung up in the offices. We'll send that out to you as well. And Dylan and Bev, Sally, can we create maybe that little form? You know, 1 group allowed at a time for the safety and sanitary protection of all.
We have it. Dylan's going to pop it up on the chat. We actually took, and what we can do is we can send it in a Word doc so that you can edit it, but it's similar to what we have in the office. Please no more than X people, or, you know, 3 persons allowed in. It's like an occupancy thing that we have on all of our doors.
Actual number, because I've been telling people, like, when I take them out, no more than 2 people in the house at one time. So I will take 1 person, then go back and take the other if I have to. I mean, do we have a limit? Like, if somebody comes with 4 adults, do we let all 4 in?
So me and Bev were talking, when it comes to broker open houses, if you want to do a broker's open house, we might limit a broker's open house at 4 or 5. I think for the first round of public open houses, let's try to encourage it, you plus no more than 2. Would be kind of a good way to do it. And if you find that you're comfortable doing 1 or 2 more, my suggestion would be you plus 2. I think we're at the phase where it doesn't have to be you and 1 and then bring the other one. I think I would be comfortable with me plus 2, as long as we maintain 6-foot distancing and face masks and those kind of things. That being said, you can reduce any limit you want. If you prefer just 1 at a time, that's completely your choice. Everyone's okay making that decision, but I would suggest, you know, bringing in no more than 2 that come in. I see, Rochelle, are all these new guidelines going to be printed to ensure proper protocol? Yeah, the emails that were sent out kind of had all these little notes in it. All these little bullet points were in the email. Again, we can double check that, but you know, I would definitely want to control the occupancy out of the gate. Did Dylan ever show that occupancy form? Dylan, we able to show that?
Dylan, do you have that? I emailed it to you.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. Let me just pull it up.
Okay.
I had it up and then it closed.
So while he's pulling up, anyone have any questions?
So just a couple key points that we make sure that you have sanitizer, make sure that you get paper towels, make sure that you're providing masks for people that probably won't have them when they come knocking at the door. Absolutely have a post in the front door letting people know that there's going to be a COVID sign they have to sign, a COVID form they have to sign, and the occupancy. Maybe you want to have a table at the front door that before they even walk in, you've got all of this stuff. You know, you've got your forms, you've got your notifications, and you've got your sanitizer already.
Yeah, those are the 2 forms that you email me, that one and this one.
They're not coming up. I'm not seeing them.
Let's try again. I'm having problems with Zoom today. There's another chat, Mike.
Yeah, it's slow. So again, we can email them all out. We're having technical difficulties, so we'll get these all mailed out. I see Kathy Masters posted a question mark with the child, as we just mentioned. I've got no problem saying, you know, that the home is limited to 2 adults. You know, at this time, for the safety of all we want to restrict children from running through a house and touching things. So again, just I think it's restricting the showings to you know, 2 adults at a time.
Yeah, no, yeah, it just came up on my screen, but it's not coming up. Okay.
Dylan will make sure he emails it all out. We'll get over to both offices ASAP. Limit those who will be on the sales contract, maybe. Great point, Bill. A great way to explain it. You know, limit the viewings for those in a sales contract. If you decide you want to buy the home, you'll have home inspection and things like that in order to allow your children through there to be part of the excitement. Any other questions, thoughts, comments? Any ideas on gathering contact info safely? Well, here's the challenge. They're going to need to sign their name here. They're going to need to sign their name. So that's why I'm going to suggest, again, you know, if you have disinfectant spray or disinfectant wipes, I would suggest wiping the pen down between each use. And I would literally pick it up, wipe it down, hand it to the buyer. When the attendee, when they hand it back, wipe it down again and put it down. So that way, the buyer actually sees you sanitizing the pen as you're handing it back and forth. You know, you can give them hand sanitizer, wipe down the pen, give them the pen, hand the pen back, wipe it back down. So that way it's all.
Do you have a link for Michael Brand's virtual career visioning?
Hey, Dylan, you got a live mic. Are you talking to this group? There you go. So that's kind of the only way I could do it. You know, Judy, without a doubt, you can kind of fill it in for them, but they're going to need the pen to physically sign the COVID showing acknowledgement. So I personally would wipe the pen down before you hand it over and wipe it down when you get it back. The key is to make sure everyone sees the sanitary approach you're taking to the open house.
Hey, Michael, one other question. I had a friend of mine who's also a realtor, different company, but she did a open house, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I was like shocked. And she said they did it like it was a showing appointment. So they posted it, but you had to call to get a time slot.
Yeah, and some people have been creative doing it that way, where you post showings available 1 to 4. Please
and then call for your time slot.
Call for your time slot. You know, so some people were creative in doing that. That way they could say it wasn't. People were still putting open houses online and making them a virtual open house. So, you know, those are definitely ideas you can use. Again, people did that primarily to do it before it was allowed. That way, if someone called them out on it, they could say, well, just a series of showing appointments. Right. Not necessarily open house. But by nature, it was still an open house. I'm sure she put out open house signs.
I'm just thinking it might be an easier way to do something like this so that we get the COVID form signed ahead of time. And, you know, instead of having, you know, because right now, everything that I'm up against right now is multiple offers. So if we could schedule it like we give everybody a 15-minute window in the house, this way they book an appointment. Of course, you're going to still get people who show up, but maybe we can eliminate, you know, people showing with no masks and a lot of this stuff. Maybe we could, you know, give them a time slot. Call for your showing scheduled appointment.
Yep. And then put that in the open house show instructions on the MLS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of call ahead seating in a restaurant. You know, please call ahead for a guaranteed time for your showing.
Right.
I think it's actually an interesting concept. If we treat it like call ahead seating at Outback, that might allow you to offer a safer, more controlled experience. Great idea, Pam. Thanks for sharing that. Any other questions, thoughts, ideas that you want to put out there to the group?
I have a question regarding if an agent shows up to do a preview and they want to just leave their card, is that okay?
No, we're going to ask them to show the form as if ask them to sign the form as if they were a buyer. So we're going to ask them to put their name, email address, telephone number, and sign.
Okay.
Because again, they they can go, yeah, I would treat them the same way. Again, there's no downside of erring on the side of caution.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you go over the protocol for broker opens again?
So, but broker open houses, I see it being the same experience. We probably don't need the COVID acknowledgement for brokers open house. I guess I got to give that a little bit of thought. We'll give that some thought, and maybe even ask Mary Kay what her thoughts are on that. But it would be the same experience. They've got to have hand sanitizer, sanitize their hands on the way in, face masks, booties, or remove the shoes. I would just max it at 5 people at a time. Technically we can go up a little bit more than that. It's kind of interesting that the governor says for inside gatherings you could do up to 50 people, or up to 25% of that building's capacity. I think residentially, isn't it still just a 10-person maximum for inside gatherings?
You have
It's
to maintain that social distancing. That's just the issue, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I think Al, depends on the size of the house. If it's a 12 to 1,400 square foot condo, I might only want to have 2 or 3 people in there at a broker's open. If it's a 4,000 square foot house, perhaps 7 to 8. So I guess the best I could say is my recommendation is going to be about 5 people max in a broker's open at a time, but kind of leave it up to you guys to use common sense. Depending on the size of the house, you might want to make an adjustment by how many people you have coming in, and again, making sure there's 6-foot social distancing occurring.
For the public open houses, you can, as you have one group in there at a time, one family, one person, really is an opportunity to be able to better engage with those people.
No doubt.
You can lock the front door, put a sign out there showing in progress, please be patient, and then you can let the next group in. It might be a better opportunity and a better way of doing it.
Well, for once we have an excuse to why we don't let one group in at a time. You're absolutely right, Al. The more time you can spend with that person. I would say showing in progress, please ring doorbell so I know you're here and I'll be with you momentarily. Right. At least that way you have an alert so someone's not standing out there while you're trying to necessarily close on somebody. But no, I think this is a great time to do that one-on-one. I see Michelle just posted, I see in the forum they need to include email and phone. As you know, many people do not include that info. Will they be required to? All I care about is name and signature. However, because this is a COVID form, you kind of use it what Al just said. It's a great time to do one-on-one. This could be a great time to say, unfortunately, with COVID-19, we really need a way to contact you in case we learn that someone that comes through the open house is diagnosed positive. It could be a great reason to get that information for future use. So many people don't want to fill that out on a typical public open house registration, but with a COVID form, we would like a little bit more information in case we need to contact you for health purposes.
That's a reasonable request.
Yep.
In a pandemic, that's a reasonable request.
Yep. And again, in the early time with the contact tracing in the early part of COVID-19, that was important. If someone, especially for realtors, if we find someone comes through is sick, we have an obligation to notify anyone that might have been exposed. So, we just want to make sure we're creating a safe, healthy, sanitized environment. Any thoughts, comments, questions? Al, did I answer your question okay? Are we good there?
Yeah, no, it was good. Perfect.
Well, Michael, quick question. You said that we would post something outside. It would be the occupancy and
occupancy, face mask required, and a copy of the COVID acknowledgement registration with a little note that you will be asked to sign this before entering. Please read. Okay. So I see 3 things. And again, we'll send them all out in an email in a few. Again, guys, as you've said since the beginning, our number 1 priority in this whole process is your health and your safety. But we also want to make sure we give you the ability to go out there and start generating business again. So far in June, under contracts are up by 47%. under contracts are up by 47%. However, as of this morning, listings are actually down by 3%. Listings taken are down by 3%, but we're writing 47% more contracts than we were the first 2 weeks of June last year. So that's a great message to share with sellers. That's why the multiple offers are happening and the activity is happening the way it is, because buyers are ready to go out there and buy and get the move going, yet there's a very low amount of inventory. So it's a great time to list, a great time to do open houses. Let's just make sure we do it in a safe and healthy manner. Any other final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, or excitements? Anything else that Bev or Sally want to add?
No, I think it's great. You know, great opportunities. It's back to business. Woohoo! You know.
Thank goodness, right?
Yeah.
Sally, any thoughts?
The only thought that I have, Michael, is just an add-on. If they're going to be signing this form with pens, make sure you have multiple pens on the same form, and they're not, because you're violating all your sanitary things otherwise.
Yeah, without doubt, either multiple pens or again, use a wipe.
However you do it, individual forms, multiple pens, doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you.
Hey, if pens are one of your items of value and you have a bunch of branded pens, this would be a good time to give out a pen. That's for darn sure. You know, great point, Sally. Thanks for sharing that. Any thoughts, comments, questions, excitements? Alrighty. Thanks so much all for being on the call. Again, just a quick call to kind of get things going. For the folks in Basket Ridge, look for an invite later on in the week. We'll do a little Q&A one morning this week just to give you an update on everything that's going on. So I see one more note come up here. If we run out of masks and they don't have one, should we deny them entry? Yeah. So make sure you have plenty of masks, I guess is the first response to that. But I went in the market the other day, and someone wasn't wearing a mask. They did all their shopping, got up to checkout, and the checkout clerk said, sorry, we can't process your checkout without a mask. And they had them leave the store. I think the person, it was mentioned to them while they were there to please get a mask, and they chose not to. And it was when they finally got to the register that they were denied the ability to process checkout. So businesses are turning away people that aren't wearing masks. So, and let's be real, masks are not about, you know, keeping me healthy. It's about keeping the people around me healthy. So I would say my position is if they don't care enough to wear a mask, then we don't care enough to have them visit the open house. But make sure you bring extra
grocery stores turn away people that don't have masks just getting in the store. So
yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of stores have a security person right out front turning them away. So you know, again, that sign is masks required to view this open house. All right. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great day out there. Give me a call with any questions, and be safe, stay healthy.
Thank you.
Go do open houses, baby. Have a good one.